All right, what's up? This is another video on the RD8. Had a question in the comments about stringing patterns together to play songs. First of all, there's a couple of things you got to understand or that you need to know. By default, when you string together patterns for songs and you have, say, multiple songs, by default, the RD8 is in song chain mode. So that means anytime you play a song, it's going to automatically chain to the next song unless you set it to actually stop playing. I'm assuming they did that because they were thinking performance in mind, and that's cool. But if you don't want that to do that, then you'd have to go into settings and turn that function off. And the way you do that is you hit settings, go to preferences, and you're gonna have to, if it's not already on chain song mode, you have to press the tap hold button until you get to that setting. But I'm already here, so you can see there's I have it on stop mode because I want my songs to stop at the end of the song. But there are three different modes. You got stop, and then you have loop, which will loop that song, continuously loop that song. And then you have hold, and it'll hold once it gets to the last pattern or the last step, it'll repeat. It'll hold on that last step and repeat until you press the stop button. So I'm going to put this back on stop. And then the other thing you need to set is your auto scroll settings. Auto scroll is very important when you're chaining songs or you're chaining patterns to make songs. So you want to go into the same thing, settings, and hit your tap scroll button till you get to auto scroll preferences. You got one that says auto advance, and then the next one says auto scroll. And you want to set that preference to pattern as opposed to global. And if you set it, if in effect when you're setting it to pattern, that turns off the song chain mode. So any song you select, it'll just play that one song based on the song mode that you have it in, whether it's to hold at the end, stop, or loop. So in this case, we want it on pattern. And then you just come out of settings. And that should solve your problem far as your song playing and looping over and over again. Like I said, I have mine on stop, and I've got like three patterns in the song. I got it on song 2, and I'm gonna press play. And it should stop at the end of this pattern, and it stops. Now, I'll take that same song, I'll change that setting, and put it on loop, and it'll just loop that song continuously until I press stop. This is the last step, and it should go back, just keep looping, and it just did. So it'll keep looping those three patterns and the number of steps that I have until I press stop. So that's that mode. And hold preferences. Hold will actually have it just repeat the last pattern, the last step, and the last pattern until I press stop. Get out of that. And notice auto scroll is not on in song mode because I have, well, one second. Let's get to that last pattern. It's at the last pattern, so it's going to keep looping that, holding that pattern until I press stop. But I was saying, now you notice that the auto scroll is not on, but yet it's cycling through my patterns. That's because I have the auto scroll setting set to pattern as opposed to global. Let me go back and change my setting back to stop. Preferences. And I'll get into auto scroll in a minute. That's very important when you're chaining songs to make patterns. When you go into a pattern or a song to create a song, once you enter the first pattern in your song and you set the steps, you have to turn on auto scroll. And with the auto scroll setting being set to pattern, when you save it, because you have to save your song with auto scroll on, when you save it with auto scroll on, then it's going to automatically scroll through your patterns. If you save it, or if you have your auto scroll preference set to global, you still have to save the auto scroll on with your song, but what it's going to do is be in song chain mode. So it'll play your song, but it's going to loop to the next song that's in your. Say if you have 3 songs in your RD8 in locations 1, 2, and 3. If you're playing song 3 with the global auto scroll setting, at the end of song 3, it's going to automatically loop to song 1 unless you manually press song 2. But it's going to always be in that mode. So that's the importance of setting the auto scroll mode to pattern if you just want to have that one particular song loop. Hope I didn't confuse you with that again, but auto scroll is very important. The setting, to set it in pattern mode, unless you want to change songs, then you set it in global mode. All right, it's a little quick video. Hope that helps. If you have any other questions or comments or any critiques about these videos, put it in the comments. Subscribe to the channel. Appreciate it. Have a good day.